Hello guys, welcome to the garden. I record these on Friday mornings and it is Thursday evening, July 4th. So happy Independence Day, even though you're seeing this like a solid week afterwards. But anyway, I was gonna wait until tomorrow, but this sucker, I grabbed it and it just fell off. So first zucchini, I'm so excited. I've looked and I don't see any flowers. I see lots of like baby zucchinis, like, can you see it right there? I see the baby zucchinis. I don't see anything that's getting ready to become a zucchini next week. So we're gonna go ahead and eat this bad boy, but I figured we'd start the garden tour off this way. And now on to tomorrow. Welcome back to the garden. Today is July 5th, so happy Independence Day to everybody who celebrated yesterday. Today is garden tour week number 9, the beginning of week number 9. This is crazy. Now, my week number 9 looks a lot smaller than other people's week number 9s, and it's because this garden didn't get in the ground until 4, maybe? I don't know. We started from scratch. We had to pull up a bunch of river rock, and it started different. This is the beginning, from the beginning of absolutely nothing to prepping a garden to planting a garden. I started nothing from seed. There's a couple things I think that I did plant, well, we'll see. There are a few things that I planted from seed that have decided to sprout that I thought were gone. We're gonna do what this garden looks like. We have a teeny tiny garden and we're making the best out of our property. So if you want to see what this looks like, keep watching. Okay, the first thing I actually want to talk about are these tomato starters that I talked about last week and never got put in the ground. I did go buy a bunch of potting mix, so these suckers are going to go into littler pots. I'm going to just put them in all the old ones of those until they can get bigger. Some of them are incredibly bigger. Some of them are clearly dying off, but I wanted to show you the root system. So this is what it looks like. There's dead ones. 2 weeks after. Look at the roots on that bad boy. It's still pretty full of water. I have dumped out and refilled a few times, but there were a few 100-degree days where I completely and totally spaced refilling them. If anything, the roots are growing better out of the water. Do you see the water line? How the roots are fantastic up at the top? That's crazy. The downside of this, I don't remember what all these are. I'm pretty sure these are basic cherries because they're so huge. I'm pretty sure I pulled them off my basic cherries. I think these ones are special tomatoes. The reason I hesitated actually planting them, which we've got a lot going on in here too, and the water feels cold on the jar. It has boiled though, so there's a few that are gone. Whoops. But it's still very full because the plant itself is keeping the water in. I have been keeping it over in the kids section where they don't mess because they keep getting knocked over. But I think this week, later today, I will be planting those up along with a few other things. So there will be added. And even though I don't even know if it's the beginning of July. Tomatoes these tomatoes are already pretty established, but tomatoes take about 90 days. So we shall see. If they don't make it, they don't make it. I have plenty of tomatoes. So speaking of plenty of tomatoes, here are a bunch of my tomato bags. Here is a pepper. Let's start with the little baby pepper. He is just a regular green pepper. And we have a green pepper. Yeah, cute little guy. So I'm excited. Yay, that's my first green pepper. I don't remember if this is a pepper or a Big Bertha. I think it's just a regular green pepper. We do have 2 different types of green peppers. We have a forest of tomatoes in here, and we have a lot that have sets of fruit on them. This one is an unnamed tomato, and it has several sets of fruit on it. There's that one, and there's that one, and this one's coming in, and it's not tied up at all. It's just leaning up on this stick of wood. And we had some very severe weather pile through here. There's a chili pepper that's gonna die, it looks like, which is okay. It's okay. We've got a lot of chili pie peppers. Here's another chili pie pepper that looks like it's going to be okay. And then I have this one over here that's thriving. So we're definitely going to be okay. I have a lot of different types of tomatoes in here. And now that they are all getting so big, I'm not going to dig around and try to find them. I do, however, want to show you that someone is digging around here. We have a Tom who brought home a baby kitten, and not like a teeny tiny baby kitten, and he didn't kill it. It's a little like 10, 12-week-old little orange tabby kitten. And we randomly see it back here every now and again, and I think it's sleeping in the pots. Not 100% sure, but if you look back here, there's a giant hole in that one. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera, but it's a giant hole in that one, and it's knocking my tomato plant over, actually. Now, the majority of these have been marked. I do have a tomato plant back in the corner. That's my lemon boy that I thought I lost on week 1, and it grew, and it's thriving back there, so we're letting it go wild. So we have Super 100 sweet cherries in here. We have lemon boys in here. We have golden jubilee and chocolate sprinkles and cherry chocolate sprinkles, and I feel like there's another one that I'm just completely forgetting. And then these tiny ones that I bought way too late in this season, those ones are the ones that probably won't get any fruit, versus these over here that are already 10 times bigger. So anyway, these are cherry golden jubilees. So I saw them, they were dying in the store. I wanted to give them a chance. Are we going to eat any? I don't know. We'll see. Then I had transplanted zucchini a couple of weeks ago from the zucchini patch, and these two are thriving in these 10-gallon tubs. These are 10-gallon canvas bags that I bought off of Amazon. Week 1, we had massive flooding, and it washed away all my zucchini seeds. And one of them got shoved over here. And when I was cleaning everything up, I shoved all the dirt off to the side. And look, there is a full-fledged zucchini plant growing. Look, it's even got flowers down in there. Growing with my lemon boy that's massive. This one, if you see it, there's a few tomato plants that got weird. It didn't sucker off, it just split into 2 plants do you see that? Like, there's no sucker. In fact, it has a sucker in between it. There's 2 suckers. It's so weird. So anyway, this one has two tops. Anyway, moving on. Been stuck over here for a while. Marigolds are getting bigger and blooming like crazy. Kale definitely needs to get harvested and ate today and tomorrow, and it will be for sure. There's a ton of kale, especially considering there's only 2 people who eat it. I did originally plant 6 kale. This is 3 of them right here. You can see 3. And then there's actually another one that decided to come back, which is a common theme in this garden. So we have a zucchini and a lemon boy that are growing wild back there. The lemon boy I thought was gone. The zucchini was a seed. So those came back. We're going to have a lot of things that come back. Like my onions. My onions kind of look like they were all going to die for a long time too. They are clearly not dying. My 4-year-old did traipse around in here the other day. So a couple of them I think are done. But we shall see. We shall see. These are just 2 regular cherry tomatoes. And then those are 2 Better Boy tomato plants. This is like my basics. Everywhere else, I do have 2 more sets of basics, I guess. So, but yeah. So these are my basic tomatoes, and obviously this tomato is doing fantastic and has several sets on it, and I love cherry tomatoes because they happen so fast. So I'm excited. It's been a long time coming. These are my cucumber plants, and I have them going up a teepee that's not falling over. It's literally built at a tilt because of how the sticks worked, and I never reset it, and it's doing okay, I think. So fun facts here. It looks like I'm coming up with some fun facts. In the storm the other day, this one got topped off, but it looks like, shoot, is it gonna work? I don't know. Is it just my eyeballs? Can you see that? It looks like it's getting a new top. Jeez Louise. It looks like it might be getting a new top. That looks like a new top. So cool for the cucumbers. We do have several a baby cucumber on here. I checked last night. We don't have any like decent cucumbers. We just have, you know, the need to be pollinated cucumbers. Can I find any? It is taking off though. Like, this is a really good plant. One of these plants actually has 2 stems, so that's awesome. Loving it. I'm excited. Now, I planted 7 cucumbers originally. There was another one over here that didn't make it, but these 2 took off and they made it, and then the rest of them looked dead, but they weren't. So we have 6 cucumbers. I feel like we lost one in there too. So maybe we had 8, 6. Wait, no, we had 5. So we had 7. So there was one that was in between them, and then there was one down there. And I was like, oh, maybe I did plant them too close. But no, I have to overplant around here. People destroy my plants. So this cucumber decided to show up once that one was climbing. It's like, oh wait, so I have a small stick for that one for right now. These tend to be really good for them. Every now and again they have some issues. I am tying them up, but they are also tying themselves up. See, like I have like super knobby sticks, and those seem to be going really well because it has more spots for them to climb onto. Are you seeing how this is going? I do have them tied up in a few spots, but it's like way down there. Can you see the green tie? So I haven't tied this one up for quite some time, and it's this one was supposed to be attached and it got all, so it's gonna need I love that they do this. So anyway, we have another kale that was dead and decided to come back. These are some of the, we have this tomato plant and this tomato plant, and these are the baby cherry golden jubilees, and they are doing so phenomenally better in the ground than they are in the pot. So I might actually get some that are in the ground. So this is a lemon boy that looked dead. It had fallen over. This is a sucker that grew, and it's getting taller, and I'm gonna let it go. Here's another sucker. Like, there's several suckers, but I'm gonna get probably a branch for this one too and help it train up, and we'll see if this one actually takes off too. We have several, and then this is a cherry golden jubilee that's doing really well and trying to fall over, so I need to prune that one up really bad. We have several Brussels sprouts. This is definitely the best one. Have to zoom out. This one is doing amazing. And then we have a tiny one right next to it that's not doing so hot, but we have some green peppers. That one lost a lot of stuff, including all of its flowers in the storm. These 2 survived, so we're looking okay. My massive tomatillo lost a lot in the storm, which is depressing, but it happens. It didn't lose the whole plant's not gone. This thing has survived a lot. It has survived boys, it has survived bug barrages, it has survived severe weather. So hopefully it can actually produce fruit, because it lost a lot of flowers. So cross fingers. But tomatillos are supposed to be incredibly prolific, and you're supposed to be able to get just a ridiculous amount of them off of these things. And they do have flowers just about everywhere. Like, every spot there's a leaf, there's a flower. So they're pretty awesome. But they do get eaten up pretty bad. But they survive that. This is an amazing plant. If it survives and I actually get tomatillos, I will be so excited. These are both of my Big Bertha green peppers. So what they are is just larger green bell peppers. Oh no, I lost a leaf of flower. Okay, I don't want to mess too much. But they are just flowering up like crazy. And we've got a baby pepper. So exciting. And then this is another tomatillo. When you plant tomatillos, you should plant more than 2 or more for pollination purposes. So I got 2. And this one has survived a heck of a lot too. It has been snapped. That branch down here isn't even technically attached to the plant anymore, but it's still going. It's literally hanging on by a thread. I don't touch this thing. I don't want to disturb this thing. We found this thing in the middle of the yard a couple weeks ago and had to replant it. So hopefully it's getting its flowers. It looks like it's going to be okay. The leaves came back right away. I mean, it was limp. It had been out of the ground for a while and it's surviving. So I'm excited for that one. Then we have a little blueberry bush who's going to take a while, so we don't worry about him. And then we have more tomatoes. Okay, over there it looks like something's missing, but I don't think there is. So this one is a Brandywine, and this one is a Cherokee Purple. And they're both pretty much not even leaning on the branches that they're on. They're leaning on the fence. So that's where they want to go. They just have this so that they don't fall over. Also, when they actually are like setting fruit and it's getting super big, I will start tying parts of them up. But for right now, especially because of the rain and how crazy the weather can get, we do have some suckers going on. This one also is of a massive stem, like it's just crazy. So we're kind of letting a lot of stuff go. Oh, this one is the one I wanted to talk about. Okay, wait. This is the one. Okay, this is a branch. The branch has 2 suckers on it. This is a sucker on the branch. This is a sucker on the branch. It's on a branch. Notice how it's not in the armpit. It's like way over here. So that's crazy. So if anyone's ever had that happen on their plants, let me know. Also, the flowering part of this tomato is on this. It hasn't flowered anywhere on the actual, unless it has and the storm took it. I don't think it did. I think this is our first Brandywine. These are Beefmasters. So they'll be nice and big. And we do have a ton of flowers on them. So I'm excited for those. But yeah, once the plant actually starts getting weighted down, this one is tied up because it falls over quite a bit. So if it falls over quite a bit already, it gets tied up. Once it gets its like full sets of tomatoes on it, I'll be tying it up because just being on a string it's going to be harder to keep itself upright. They do naturally want to fall onto the ground, so we're constantly battling that. We have tons of flowers coming in on these bad boys. I am so excited. I've recently edited the video of when I put all of these in the ground, and I did not show a proper picture of what these plants looked like, but they were completely limp, knocked over. The tops, I mean, they were so dehydrated. They looked like they were dead. It was like, well, we're gonna try. And guess what? It worked. So these 4 bad boys are Roma tomatoes, and they are planted specifically for sauce. And we have Romas on just about every plant. So I am super excited. We have Romas down here. We have tons of flower sets. This Roma is also doing what one of those other tomato plants was doing. Oh, what, the Brandywine, where it was one of the ones in the bag. It's splitting off as 2 plant. This one had a sucker, and the sucker just took off, and I'm leaving it. At this point, I don't care. I would kind of like them to be bushy. I don't necessarily want them to be super skinny. I want them to fill up the fence line. Does that make sense? So we have a Roma down there. Old me would have just pitched them because they were goners, and look at them go. And 2 of them already have fruit on them, so this is exciting. And then my blackberry bush that is just struggling with life. It's staying alive. It is staying alive. By no means did I think I was going to get blackberries this year. I'm starting to wonder if it's going to survive through the winter, so crossing fingers that I have this for longer than this summer. Okay, down to zucchini. Now this one I am trying something new. I am growing it up a stick. I can't remember if I started this before or after last week, but basically I'm just tying it up the stick. I've seen people do this and I thought, okay, they're more bushy, but no, some of them grow slightly like they can be viney, and the way I keep clipping them down. If you see, this is yesterday's pile of leaves that I clipped off. The leaves it's prolific. Do you see all these tiny baby leaves in every plant? Like every plant has so many teeny tiny baby leaves in there, and they all get monstrous, and it's just crazy. There's also tons of weeds and stuff, but we have that, and we have our watermelon that are finally starting to like seriously spread out. We have one that's coming out this way. Oh, that's a milk. Oh no, that was a... See, this is why I don't do it. I just yanked my watermelon out of the ground and it's done for. Cool. That's why I'm not weeding under there. Oh, dang it. Well, you know, I have like 7, so hopefully... Oh, yeah, don't be hasty, people. Don't be hasty. So anyway, there's pluses, there's minuses, there's learning experiences. So only one has produced fruit. All of them have female flowers on them. It's just a matter of getting them to get bigger and bloom. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Now we are back up in the front garden, and we have a strawberry plant down here that has done something a little cray-cray, and birds have noticed. Oddly, we have some strawberries, so I didn't even notice that there were flowers on these things, but we have some strawberries. This plant's a tough little cookie, but it's not spreading. It's just sitting right here. Like, it hasn't gone anywhere, which I think is how it was able to do this. My other strawberry plant, this is an Ozark Beauty. I have another one, and sadly, they're both going to have to get transplanted in the fall. So I thought I was being smart, and then we've changed up how we're going to do this part of our yard, so I have to transplant these. That one's not going to be hard. This one's going to be much harder. This is the original. This is an all-star, and it has several offshoots going already, and several are very well established and look as if they're going to start offshoots. So hopefully it will survive the transplant. I will do it in early September, probably, hopefully. So it has hopefully enough time to get growth going back. If not, I'll just have to start strawberries over again next year. It's not a horribly bad deal. This is a sun sugar, and both of these plants have been suffering, and this one has a lot of fruit on it though, so that's a bonus. I think it's new. I think it's new fruit. This has fruit that looks like it's on a dead vine. We're gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it go because these things have been surprising me. We have a new one that looks a lot better. This plant is a yellow pear. Now, I'm not sure what happened, but I think it's because I fertilized in the morning, and we've had almost an entire week of actual temperatures of 90 to 95 and heat indexes over 100 for a week, and everything up front got super hot. And I think part of it, I don't really understand why, because this is very, very shaded. There's trees everywhere, but I think they get more than enough sun. based on the plant growth everywhere else. Hopefully this thing makes it. If it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. Hopefully it makes it. It has been setting off more fruit. The topper is still going. We do have more flowers right here, so hopefully we're okay. Then we have this one, which is the very first tomato that actually got potted or planted, and it is huge. Look at it. It's gotta be 6.5 feet at this point, so it is super huge. It doesn't have a ton of fruit sets, but it does have a ton of flower sets on it all over the place. They're everywhere, and fruit is starting to come off of them. So this is our very first tomato down there. There we go. And then this is our very first fruit set that we've ever had. So I'm super excited. This thing is huge. And I'm letting it go. Obviously there are several suckers. There's like 4 different plants. That's a sucker, that's a sucker, that's a sucker, and that's the original, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna just let it bush out as much as it can. I have been pruning quite a bit, but now I just kind of want it to fill up this thing. And then this is our other sun sugar, and it seems to be doing quite a bit better. However, it does have some watering issues, because for whatever reason this pot just doesn't get hit with rain. The other one gets hit with a ton, and the soil's completely compacted in there, like it's not good potting mix soil. I have to make sure I water this just about every day. I just take a cup of water and dump it in there. But we do have several flower sets, but it is very dry, so it's not producing a ton of tomatoes, which is a bummer. Then we have the jalapeno plant that gave me my first jalapeno, which was delicious. I mean, I made jalapeno popper chicken, and it's got another jalapeno on it. So hopefully next week we'll have more jalapenos, if these vines don't kill it. I think if I pulled it up, I'm gonna stop. I've already destroyed one plant. All right, and the last of the jalapenos. So I do have 5 jalapeno plants. This one seems to be like it's gonna be okay. This one's probably dead. This one looks like it's gonna be okay. Yep, look, we've even got a tiny jalapeno over there. And then we have one back there too. I desperately need to weed this part of the garden. The soil is nice and moist, so I probably am going to do that here shortly. I've learned that it's the best time to grab it because the plants just come out easily, hence the watermelon. So be careful and watch what you're doing. Also, my husband and I are going to change up the entire front step, so we're super excited. We've kind of looked at different options on what to do, and we found one we absolutely love that matches with what we want for the rest of the front yard, so that will be happening in September, hopefully. All right, so that is it for the garden tour week 9. I am in Iowa, zone 5B, and we had a very late spring. Like, it didn't actually feel like summer here until about 2 weeks ago. This 100+ weather is totally normal for us. So yeah, it was still hitting 35, I think the second to last or the last week of May. So a lot of this stuff just didn't get planted until June, which is crazy. So hopefully next year will be a better year. Hopefully we have a late summer so that by the end of September we're still very hot and it's still very much a thriving environment for all of these, and we get to harvest everything we planted. So anyway, if you like these types of videos, definitely subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you planted that you are the most excited for, or if you haven't started a garden yet, what you are excited to plant that is your own food. So with all of that being said, I want you to always remember, you are never alone. We're all in this together.
Now, I will put that towel